have heard on the news or possibly seen some reports, read somewhere, that housing inventory is currently low. But what exactly does that mean? What is housing inventory, and what does low inventory mean if you're in the market to buy or sell a home? Hi, this is Andrew with the Andrew Smith team at eXp Realty. And when you hear the term inventory as it relates to the housing market or the real estate market, what people are referring to is the number of homes that are currently available for sale. And that number is usually reported in months. So let me explain. You may hear that, inventory, the number of listings is low, and there is a 2-month supply. So what they are referring to there is at the current pace of sales, it would take 2 months for all of the homes currently listed to actually be sold and would be out of inventory. So that is actually how the inventory number is calculated. It's looking at the pace of sales in relation to the number of homes that are sold. Now, traditionally, anything less than about a 6-month supply is considered to favor sellers. That is what's known as a seller's market. It means the terms when you're negotiating a contract are more likely to be in favor of a seller than a buyer because the amount of homes for sale is lower. There's more likely to be competition. Anything over 6 months, 6 months to 7 months is considered a fairly balanced market. It's neutral. It doesn't favor buyers. It doesn't favor sellers. It's neutral. Anything more than 7 months, then we are starting to say that you're in a buyer's market. Buyers are in control. They have absolutely plenty of choice. They're going to be able to go in and write offers and ask for more concessions. And if a seller is in a position where they really do need to sell, then they're going to have to probably start making price reductions if they haven't gotten the activity they were expecting up front. So if you're currently in the market to buy a home, what does it mean? What do you need to do? How do you put yourself in the best position to be successful? Well, I'll be honest, that 6-month supply is something that we haven't seen in a long time. We have been running, depending upon where you live, anywhere from a 1-month supply or even just under to right now the national average is close to 4 months. In Frisco, Texas and Temecula, California, the markets where I'm based, we're not anywhere near the 4-month national average. We have much less than that. So as a buyer, it means that you're going to face competition and the seller is more in control. If you place an offer that is too low, the seller is likely just to ignore it. If you place an offer that may be close to or at price, but you ask for all kinds of concessions, or as you're going through the process, ask for all kinds of unreasonable repairs, the seller is more inclined to say, no thanks, cancel, move on, because there's another buyer and another buyer and another buyer lined up behind you. In fact, in Southern California right now, you go and see a house, in many instances, there can be 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of people outside waiting to get in. There's only one set at a time. We're going through a home right now. So in a buyer, you really need to make sure that you're prepared. Make sure your financing is in order. Make sure that the agent that you're working with writes an offer as clean as possible. You're going to want that agent to reach out to the listing agent first and find out what the seller's looking for. What's their time frame? When are they looking to move? How long do they want the contract to be? Are they open and willing to look at any concessions? What type of things? When you go through and have a home inspection done, realize if it's a resale home, you're buying a used home. Not everything is going to be perfect. If you put together a repair request that asks for a cracked switch plate, asks for a burned out light bulb to be replaced, a torn screen, the seller's going to deny it. And they're just going to dig their heels in, so to speak, with regards to negotiations. It's not going to work. You're going to have to be extremely reasonable. I'm not saying that if it's not a health and safety issue or something major, that's going to need to be addressed, whether it's you or someone else buying the home. So keep that in mind going forward. You're not going to get everything you want in those negotiations. So make that first offer as clean as possible, as the longer period of time is spent on the back and forth, another buyer could come in and snap that house out right from underneath you. If you're a seller, based on what I've just said, don't get carried away. Meaning, don't think that you're not going to have to do anything. You are. Buyers are still looking for value. But if you've been considering selling, when you're in a seller's market as we are right now, chances are you're going to be able to do what all sellers want, and that's to sell your home in the shortest amount of time for the highest amount of money. Homes in some markets right now, I'm seeing sell for $5, $10, $15, $20, $25,000 over list price. Granted, it still has to appraise, and that's not going to happen to every property. If you have a lot of deferred maintenance, there's things that you haven't done to the house, you're not going to get top dollar. No matter how few homes there are, buyers will pass and they'll move on to something else. They'll be a little bit patient. We are seeing that. But if you've got a home that's in good condition and it's marketed correctly, you are going to sell. You should sell for the maximum amount that you possibly can. So you still want to go through and do the necessary steps to get your home ready for sale and make sure that it shows as good as it possibly can. But also realize that you are in the driver's seat when it comes to negotiations, but it doesn't mean that you can ignore all buyer requests. As really, once you're under contract and you know that you're moving towards closing, do you really want to start that process all over again? Have people start looking at the home again, go through another inspection, potentially go through another appraisal? Usually not. There's always going to be a little bit of give and take. So hopefully that gives you a rough idea on what housing inventory means and what you need to do and the steps you need to take if you're looking to buy or to sell. So if you have any additional questions or would like some additional information, please feel free to reach out. My contact information is in the description below this video. Otherwise, we'll see you on the next video tip of the week.